Hi, everyone. Hello. Let me say hi to everybody. One second. I have so many windows open. Give me 1 second. I need to close this or it's going to slow down. How is everyone? Are you all set for J Hope? Everyone has their tickets. Hello, hello. I hope everyone has their tickets already. Um, I certainly do. In fact, I have several tickets, and I'm going to discuss that with you because we have some tickets available from our Patreon subscribers, sold at cost. Okay, they're selling at cost. All right, 1 second. Hi, oh Phaedra, hello Phaedra, you made it. You have been absent for so long. How are you? Snow and dark and cold. That's my ideal. ideal. That's my ideal place right now. I love the cold more than I more than the heat for sure. I don't even love the heat at all. Crystal, hello, Apo Bangpo, Julia, Darren, Leah, Kathleen, HHK, Claudia, Susie, Seda, Marie, Chris, Angel Star, Cindy, Jean, Jessica, Tessa, Tisa, Chris, Cindy, Call Love, Lara, Orchid, Carol, Warren, Namhar, Darren. Oh, suddenly there's many of you. Rachel, Vihart, Elizabeth, Dodger Girl, Disha, Ray, Kali, Shirtas, Angelica, Christy, Existing Psychology, Namhar, Warren, Carol, Kali, Love, EXO. I hope I'm not jumping and missing anyone. One Hot Sean, MG, Nil Vanil, Crystal, Kemuning, Helena. Um, we can have your snow. Send it to LA. Uh, Lara, Bellatrix, Shelling, Sam L, Sinri, Disha, Sandra, Elizda, Danielle, Carol, Madeline, Dawn, Eve, Bora, Winkle, Vihart, Madeline, Lindsay, me, L, Elizda, Sandra, Synthri. Uh, it keeps on jumping, so I'm jumping around too. Danielle, Clueless Mind, Donita, Ten, Sinlu, Mickey, Madhumati, Marlan, January, Eve, hello, Halina, hello. So, do you guys have your tickets already? I need one more plushie. Is it? Yes, it's live. I'm live. Yep. Okay. Existing psychology said she has tickets. Okay. So, is there anyone here? Yes, the ticks. Is there anyone here who needs tickets? We have some more available. Surgery this month. Oh my, I hope you're okay. I hope it's a minor surgery. Not yet for PH leg next week. Oh, good luck. But I heard in the Philippines they're going to print your name on the ticket. Is that true? So you can't resell it. Hi, MJ. I wish I have PTO and dollars to go, but I'm really saving for OT7. I understand that if people are just saving for OT7. So one of the things that we learned about J Hope is that the tickets are really expensive. So I posted the screenshot during the sorry. So during the regular sale, I still went online to try and just check out the prices of the tickets. And I think I think platinum was about 900 or 800 or something like that. And I'm thinking if this is platinum for J Hope, imagine the seven of them. So you're probably looking if you want to get tickets that's very close. That is, if it's even possible for you to get it, then most likely it'll be double that. Now that price is for California, and everything is of course twice as expensive in California. It's Ticketmaster's fault. Well, that was what I had in my head, but then they have this little like notice saying that all tickets were actually pre-priced. So like it wasn't dynamic pricing, it was predetermined. The prices of the tickets were predetermined. So how fancy is that? I have a watch. I came from work and I'm like, I told you that I only have two watches, right? So I have my top is blue, and I thought, oh, I have a blue watch, might as well wear it. Um, I could not even check the prices, but there is a travel company that sell the trip and ticket for 15 million Mexican pesos. How are you going to get the ticket? Uh oh, you're in South America. Me too, for saving for OT7. Dynamic platinum is expensive. If you only look for non-platinum, it is not bad. Elaine, hi. Mickey, things cannot expect to be like 7 years ago. Exactly. So I think if you want tickets, for just to give people an idea on how much to save for OT7 tickets, if you're looking to buy tickets that's very close, then you're probably looking double in California. Everything is more expensive in California and New York. So um so probably twice, at least twice that is what you're looking at. So good luck to all of us. I don't know. I haven't even, I mean, I've been trying to save since they went on hiatus, but we all know what they did to us. So that's my plushie spot. Okay. They kill you with the service charges, correct. True, true. There is no more tickets for Mexico. They have tickets in decent areas. Um, Donita, my tickets pretty much in nosebleed were like 90 bucks each. I hope you sell the tickets. Who's trying to sell the tickets? Huh? You can turn off the platinum on Army presale, and I got tickets for 149 for my friends in the 100 section. Okay, some people in Patreon are still selling tickets. So I'm just in case someone still looking for tickets, I'm gonna show it. Um, they're selling this ones are getting sold at cost. So we're not trying to earn from armies. Some of them actually like bought something, and then eventually their friend or their relatives actually got a better one, so they decided to just go with the better one, and they're selling the tickets that they have. Okay, so this is for LA, April 6th. There are there are two tickets. Section 134, you can see it around this in the map. It's around here. So that's the station. It's around here. This is platinum pricing, 585 each. So seat 17 and 18. That's one. And then we have also April 4, LA, BMO. And this is a pretty good seat actually. Section 117. So you're kind of like, oh, sorry. So you're here, so you have a good view of the stage. You're not center, but you have a good view of the stage. It's 255 each. Actually, I made the mistake. It's 235, not 255. So four tickets. And then we have Texas. So initially we had a suite, and then that suite was sold out. So we have two tickets, standing room in that suite, 200 each. So standing room. So we're gonna have to stand, which I think shouldn't be an issue because people actually just stand up during the concert. So it shouldn't be an issue. And it's also affordable. It's 200, and you have a VIP entrance, I think, in Texas. And then for March 26th, there are six tickets seated in there's somebody else who got another suite, and it's suite number 49. It's 250 each, and it's seated. This is Texas. March 27, two tickets. Section 231, 323 each. Oh, by the way, for LA, we might have another suite. So if you're interested in a suite, let me know. The advantage of having a suite is that you do have, especially in BMO, you have an exclusive entrance, a VIP entrance, and they have the private restroom. You have access to the VIP area. So this is good, especially if you're injured, if you're not as healthy, and like going through the lines and walking and whatever, if that's too much for you, a VIP like a suite is actually good for you. So in Texas, one suite is already sold out, and then someone else has another suite. So if you're interested, let me know. And then New York, there's two tickets. It's 840 each, and it's platinum. March 13. Chicago, there are three tickets. One ticket 17, March 17, and it's 190. And then March 18, two tickets, 150 each. $150 each. Oakland, March 31, two tickets, so 685.23 each. So this is the suite in LA. It's really nice. For the suite, the people that are going to be with me in the suite, we actually have food. So the cost of the ticket already includes food because I just want to bond with everybody and meet you guys and just talk. So I'm also hoping that you guys can actually come in a little early just so we can have a conversation. I also have some giveaways for you. I'm not sure if they will allow me to bring in the giveaways, but if they do, then I will give it to you there. Okay, so I'll see you there. So you have a VIP entrance, and then you enter, yeah, the grand lobby entrance, and they have access to the Sunset Club, which is above. Um, okay, so those are some of the free tickets. Let me know if anyone needs it. Just one more time, there's two tickets in LA, April 6th, section 134, 585 each. And then section four tickets, section 117, 255 each. And then Texas, we have a suite. And then we have SRO in another suite, standing room. And then we have section 231, 323 each. For the other suite, it's 250 each seated seat, and then 200 for SRO. And then New York, March 13, two tickets, 840. It's platinum. And then March 17, one ticket, 190, section 210. The next day, 150, section 210, again, a little lower, two tickets. And then Oakland, March 31, 685.23. I didn't paste the screenshot here because I just want to avoid any kind of fraud or whatever. So if you're interested, let me know, or you can also register in my Patreon. This is visible to everybody. So if you join under the free tier, you will still be able to see it. That's a great price. I will try to see you just to say hi personally. Yes, it's great prices. As I've said, if you're not trying to make money out of other armies, these are actually great prices. Okay, let me see just some comments. I think you can give away little things. I got little baggies for other armies during Sugar's concert. Though that's good. But the thing is that I'm actually gonna give away um like BTS merch, authentic BTS merch. If they only allow me a small like bag, then I will just limit it to small merch. But I was hoping like to give you like BTS merch, like authentic BTS merch. So let's see. I'm gonna call the agent tomorrow and ask him if I can bring in stuff, even if I have to bring it in advance so that it's already there. Let's see. Um, what happened to Anne? Oh, the one who's going through surgery. That's a great price. Mickey, yes, please. So cool. Please see us. And hope you feel better soon. My battle to purchase the tickets on the 19th next week. I'm so scared. I hope you can get tickets, please. You will. You will get tickets. Hi, Bang Luna. I'm trying to stay up for this, but I don't think I'll be able to. It's okay, Bang Luna, you need your rest. It's okay. I'm trying to work my way to an earlier time slot. So right now it's at 8. I'm working my way towards 7:30. It's just, it's really hard. It's you as you know, I have a full-time job. So, and on the days that I'm doing my live, I actually go to the office. And the drive, especially now that all federal workers are back to work in the office, traffic is extra bad. So I just have to like come up with a way on how I can come home earlier. Yeah. Lara Nuke, internet gods, be kind to us on the ticketing sale next week. Okay, thanks to everyone getting there, but not yet, not quite yet. I at least I can stay awake for more than an hour. That is good. Eating adobo for lunch and eating my heart out because I'm jealous for those who can see Hobie. So we will, when we get together, I'll definitely shoot some videos, and if the people that are in the suite will allow me to post the video with their faces, then I will do it. If not, then I'll blur them out. But I'm sure that we're gonna have a good time just getting to know each other. And Seda said, I woke up for your live. Thank you. Any guess what the streaming will? I have no idea. I'm gonna assume that he's definitely going to stream Soul, and he's gonna stream um Soul. I'm pretty sure he's gonna do it, and I think he's gonna stream either New York or LA. And then my guess is, this is actually, I'm so envious of New York because I think J. Cole is going to be there, and he's still, as you know, J. Cole and Eminem are my two favorite rappers. So, foreign rappers. My favorite overall, as you know, is the rap line of BTS. But Western rappers, it's J. Cole and Eminem. So I think he's gonna appear. And I'm like, I really want to see him in a concert, and he doesn't do it often. LA last night and Seoul is my guess. If he does LA last night, I'm gonna be there. So I have no complaints about that. Um, and then Seoul, that is my guess as well. That price is cheap, guys. Honestly, you cannot get a better price than that. Which price is the price that I showed? Uh, okay. In New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. It is where dreams are made of, or destroyed. One of those two. One of those two things. Hope Hobie would guess Niana. I heard J. Cole is pretty good. I don't really listen to rap. Um, he's pretty good. I don't. Uh, so I understand like where the not. I shouldn't probably claim that I understand. I have some idea on the sensibilities and the history of rap and hip hop as a culture and rap as a genre. And I perfectly understand that a lot of the things that I don't like is innate in hip hop and in rapping. For example, dissing for me is fine. Like it can be fun, but I like it doesn't really I wouldn't call it art. Like if you're dissing somebody else, it's just fun, but not for me, not necessarily an art. Which I know, as I've said, again, I understand that it is part of hip hop, right? That's part of their culture and part of the genre. But like if you're famous just because you keep on dissing everybody or whatever, I probably will be turned off. So that being said, that's the reason I like J. Cole, because isn't the only thing that he does. That's number one. Second, dissing isn't what he is known for. He really is a rapper of life. That's how I would describe him. He's a rapper of life. That's what he raps about, his experiences and stuff. And then I really am very particular about the flow. If you're rapping only one way, I probably will not. I like variety. Like I like rappers who can actually change their flow a lot. And that is why I really love BTS rappers, their rap line, because all of them, I mean, we all know of that legendary um three flow change of J-Hope in one verse. I like variety. I like a rapper who's prolific in their flows. So yeah, that's why I like the rap line. And that's also why I like J. Cole and Eminem, because they have that ability. There are some rappers, I'm not going to say the name because I don't want people to come after me and say, what do you know about hip hop and rap and whatever, which they're probably right. I don't understand as much as they do. So yeah, so if you're gonna give if you want to give rapping or rap a try, J Cole is actually a good start. And then Eminem, like go to Eminem's like his light songs, like Lose Yourself or something like that, because that's, that's it's really good as a hip hop song, but also appeals to pop. So try those. Okay. Even for this someone or something, you can have class. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. You can diss somebody and still be classy. That is absolutely true. That's absolutely true. And it's just that for me, unfortunately, I feel like a lot of rappers are just dissing because it's like they're good at it or whatever. Which, as I've said, again, just want to repeat, I understand it's part of their culture. That's fine. It's just that it doesn't appeal to me. And at the end of the day, it is my taste, right? Okay. I don't like Kanye West. Please don't come for me. I like Kanye West's Yeah. He's now known as Yeah. I like Yes beats. And oh no, actually if you he's done a lot of questionable things in his life, obviously. But if you set that aside and you just concentrate on, this is for me, my opinion. If you concentrate just on his music, he's great. For me, he's great. It's just that he turned off a lot of people because of the questionable things that he do. That's why BTS rap line is so enjoyable. Correct, Sam. You are correct. And I think that's why I just want to support what Sam said. That's why I love the BTS rap line. They diss people, but they do it with class because they don't diss just for the sake of it. They diss for a purpose, for a higher purpose usually. Mumble rap can sometimes be a bit too much. Did you like, for those of you who watched um Super Bowl, did you like the performance? Did you like Kendrick? Cypher is so good. So good. I wish, I always say like, oh, I wish all rappers are like this. Like if they want to this with a purpose. But again, it's like Namhar, Kendrick is a genius. Love Kendrick plus Sha. Nil Vanil. Nope. Soul said yes. One Hot Chan said it was excellent, highly intelligent, and very historic. Bexela. Kendrick is a real artist. Apobangpo. BTS does not target individuals in their rap. They are classy and talk about the big picture. Yeah, Apobangpo. But I know a lot of people are gonna say, but that's not what hip hop is or whatever. And I understand. Again, I'm not insisting my taste on anybody. That is fine. If they say that, whatever, that my taste suck or whatever, I'm fine. I love Kendrick. Leia said, to be honest, not really. Didn't watch a Super Bowl or halftime show. Why? Hi, Danji. Kendrick's Grammys were deserved. It was great, Shelling said. Exciting psychology. I like how J. Cole did a diss track against Kendrick Lamar and put it down because he's not like that. Exactly, right? That's why I love him. Daniel James, I'm not even a rap fan. Senri, I don't follow Kendrick, but I really like the performance. Bellatrix, my parents disliked a lot of the halftime. But what about you? Your parents disliked it, but what about you? Katarina, yeah, it's okay. We're just starting out. We're just talking about the halftime show. Larry Nuke Eminem for me. BTS calls out plenty, mic drop literally. Yeah, but they don't target people personally. Like it's not a personal attack. I did not watch, but they claim was boring. Kendrick's performance reminded me of Namjoon's quality of artistry. Ooh. Did you sign up for smart presale? Oh, Lara is asking, Shirtas, did you sign up for smart presale? Existing psychology. Haha, I like Kanye's music, but he's weird. He is weird. A lot of artists are weird. I wish there would have been better audio quality. Couldn't understand most of what he was saying. Was visually nice to look at, but I couldn't. Who did BTS this for mic drop? Existing psychologist asking, who did BTS this for mic drop? Rachel Loftus Kendrick is a Pulitzer Prize recipient, social consciousness as well. Banguna said, Ashley, that was my problem too. Okay, so I guess it's fair that I answer your question because I asked it, right? um, in terms of, and I said this in my Patreon, I said it's just personally, I'm not attracted to Kendrick's rapping. I, I think I'm more. I think you can clearly see the difference. You can hear the difference between what I like and don't like. Like J. Cole and Eminem, you kind of will understand why I like those two. And then just the opposite spectrum is Kendrick. So that being said, I am not a huge fan of Beyonce, but I think her halftime performance was one of the best by far. She was just in another level. But I'm not a fan of Beyonce. So I can see something and I can look at someone's performance. And even though I'm not a fan of that person, actually be able to appreciate. Actually, for Beyonce, any kind of performance that she does, she just put everything on the line, on the table, everything, including her grandmother's kitchen sink. So, and I like that about her. Now, for his halftime show, I think it's great for TV. I think the visuals, the way that he performed, the message that he was trying to deliver, I think it was great. Like I that in itself as a performance would have been a musical special because of how intelligent it was, because of how like you really have to dig deep into what the visuals to be able to understand what he was saying, and that is a sign of great artistry. So I think it was great. It's just that I don't think it was fitting for a live performance because his type of artistry, as I've said, is something where he will make you think. He's not gonna give it to you on a silver platter. He's gonna make you dig for it. He's gonna make you want to earn it, which makes him so engaging as an artist. So that was my take. Now, because I was watching on I wasn't there. I wasn't watching live. I liked it. I liked it because I felt it was made for TV. But I don't think it was made for like a live performance because in a live performance you want it like hyped up, right? Because you're trying to hype up the crowd and whatever. And as I've said, his artistry is not like that. He makes you think. He makes you think. He makes you really dig so deep for you to be able to understand what he's saying. So so I guess yeah, I liked it because I was watching on TV. I just wondered like I don't think this is gonna work for a live show. So that's my take. For those who like the songs, yes, Bruno Mars and Beyonce are my favorite halftime. MJ is still my number one, of course. Beyonce, Bruno is another, and then someone mentioned Prince. I guess so. I mean, in terms of showmanship, yeah, Prince. But also, I'm not a huge fan of his music. But again, I can watch somebody who I'm not a fan of and still appreciate the performance. Banguna said Prince. I loved every minute and reached twice daily. Did you really watch that performance? The entire stadium was engaging in it, Danji said. Okay, that's good. Then I guess I'm wrong. That was just my take. As I've said, I wasn't in the stadium. I was watching on TV and I thought this he's very it was an intellectual performance for me. I'm not saying that again, I'm not saying that I don't like it. I just said I feel like this is not a like a it was meant for it could have been a musical special on TV. Because it's a performance like that, you're gonna have to like watch many times, and then each time that you watch the performance, you will still understand something new. Like you will discover something new about the performance. I think that's how intelligent it was. People want stunts and fireworks and forgot about messages and creativity. When everyone went A minor. um yeah, probably that's the one thing I least like about the performance. I understand again. So I go back to that. I understand that that is part of hip hop. Like what the his this war with Drake. That's part of hip hop performance, and I perfectly understand that. Like I know it's part of their culture. It's part of hip hop. It's part of rapping. It's just not for me. So of the entire performance is probably the one that I least liked. Like yeah, it's probably the one that I least like because I felt like just make it about you. But again, I understand it is part of the culture, so that's perfectly fine. It's central to hip. Yes, I understand that. I perfectly understand that. I understand, just not for me. I agree with Disha Jelly. I would love to see BTS do the halftime at Super Bowl. I watched a discussion about what this song is about in an interview. It is not what you hear at the surface. That is not, it is not what you hear at the surface. You dislike him calling out a pedophile. That's not part of the culture. Um, I guess there's still some questions on whether he's a pedophile or not. I don't want to get into it. Like that's their. I understand their the dissing, and I understand it. I that's part of the that's part of hip hop, and that like I a lot of people made this is to bring it back to BTS a little bit. Like a lot of people did not like what Bobby did to RM when he dissed RM, and for me it was like that's hip hop. That's part like that's just how it is. You diss people. Right? And then there's been a lot of wars in hip hop through time. And I'm like, that's that's who they are. That's fine. That's whatever. I understand that perfectly. I understand it. It is just simply not for me. That's it. Like it's not for me, but I understand perfectly that it's part of the foundation of hip hop. It is innate in the genre and in the culture. I agree with what you're saying, not for everyone, but BTS respects the culture. I'm sure they understand. I am sure I understand too. Just because I understand doesn't mean I have to like it, right? So the entire performance, I don't dislike it. The only thing I said is that I think for me, I probably I'm wrong because I wasn't in the Coliseum. I thought it was more fitting for a TV performance because it was so intellectual that you have to dig deeper to really understand what he's saying. I had to watch it probably 4 times in order to understand certain parts of it. Because as you know, in TV, camera movements go fast. So I had to watch it 4 times just to sort of understand. Oh, that's what he was saying on this part, and that's what that this the formation of the dancer was. That's what it was about. Like four, maybe five times, and I'm still watching it to fully understand what he was saying. But in the so just because of that, because it wasn't like so hyped for me, it was more me trying to catch what he was trying to say. I felt like this is more like a TV special, like a musical TV special, maybe even a theater of some sort, because as I've said, you really have to think deeper into understanding to be able to understand what he said, and he said a lot. He, and not only a lot, but in every section of the performance there's so many meaning into every section of the performance. So I was tempted to Google his lyrics, but didn't care enough to go that extra step. It was entertaining without knowing the depth of it. I guess I like it was entertaining, correct. I mean the moment Samuel L. Jackson came out, I was like, ooh, this is different. Um But I guess I'm just that type. And he is really known, Kendrick Lamar is really known for those types of rap. Who's the pedophile? I have he called Drake a pedophile. I have to leave. Weeping in my soup. Bye, fire butterfly. I mean, it's the only place where you'd have that many white people watching, not to offend anyone. Good night, y'all. Bye. After the DD stuff, I don't know what to believe and what not to. I'm trying to shut out all the fire butterfly. Good night. Thank you. I am trying to shut out all the ugly stuff from what I watch because that there is so much of it. There is a lot of bad stuff. I totally agree. I love Samuel L. Jackson. Who doesn't? Who doesn't love him? I don't think he's ever played a character, even if the movie is something I don't like, but his character I would always love. That's how good of an actor he is. Interesting how Not Like Us says they and not just Drake, which I think means a lot more than a simple this. Kendrick's lyrics are literature. MG. I cannot remember if I asked you this already, so I apologize if I did. But did you get Hobie tickets? I did. Oh, you're asking Doll Baby. Doll Baby. MG is asking if you got Hobie tickets. One Hot Sean, we can like what we like, but there was powerful nuance. I love what Lin Manuel Miranda Hamilton did to elucidate the role of immigrants in American history through hip hop. Lin Manuel Miranda is a genius. Shaz's vocals was beautiful too. Yeah, she was unrecognizable to me. I don't know what I was expecting, but when she came out, I was like, "That's Sha." Have I not seen her that long? That I was for a moment. I knew she was going to appear because they sort of already stated it before the performance. But when she came out, I was like, "That's her." It's like, okay. He's an icon. He is an icon. I love Serena. So was sold as soon as she popped up so pretty in blue. She is pretty. She is pretty. What Kendrick yes. One Hot Sean, what Kendrick did was a masterclass, but even more rooted. Doll Baby said, no, I didn't get tickets. Okay, she responded. Hello, everyone just joining. I love Lynn ever since in the Heights era. I'm excited for this new musical. I didn't get Serena's appearance. You didn't get it? You mean you didn't see it or you didn't know why she did it? Lol, that's not what how you pronounce her name. That is not how she Caesar. Is that how? Caesar. 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 Serena is one of Drake's exes. Some of us we're talking. This is not Asian entertainment anymore, which I know I started because I asked you about the performance. Okay, sis za. All right. Um, she was so good. Yeah, she was so good. She's always been good. I like her music too. So of course she's good. Okay, let's go through some of the topics today. Serena from Compton. Doll Baby, are you a member of Fairy Lane's Patreon? I can chat with you there about with you there about tickets. Would you be willing to go to NYC or LA? SZA is how you pronounce it. Yeah, so one hotshot said that. Doll Baby, yes. Okay. I'm trying to show you can read each other's notes. Okay, so we'll have for LA, we'll have some recommendations. If you're flying into LA, for the ticket, I'm too cold. Love you all. Patient, you're too cold. Why? Oh, because it's yeah. You said that there's bye. Those of you not subscribed, there's no reason not to check now, please. Good night. Good night. Hobie tickets was rough. It was very rough. Okay. So we're going to set I'm going to post some recommendations. If you're flying into LA, we're going to post some recommendations for Line Store, in not Line Store, but places where you can go, that is sort of connected to BTS. So one of that would be Good Night Bang Luna. One of that would be Line Store, and then some Korean barbecue places to where BTS went and where J-Hope went. So if you want, uh, go to my Patreon and we will post it tomorrow. Now, it's the hotel is a little tough in LA right now because FEMA rented a lot of hotels and a lot of Airbnbs in order to help those that lost their homes in the fire. So it's extra difficult to get hotels and motels and Airbnbs. I think they just rented as many as they could because of the amount of people that lost their homes during the fire. So it'll be tough, but I'm sure that you're going to find one. My just a personal suggestion: don't bother going to like check. Try to go as close as you can to BMO so that you don't have to. So that going there is just a walking distance or something like that. This traffic is going to kill you. I'm posting a message there now for you. Okay, looking forward to going to Line Store and of course Korean barbecue. I live near LA, Erickson. Hi, Erickson. You got tickets. Good night, Phaedra. Okay. Um, all right. So just want to get through. So I'm sure that you've heard about what happened uh in today in Korea. Well, yesterday in Korea. So a politician on air was talking to the acting minister of justice, Kim Sok-woo, and a Democratic Party member, Representative Park Ji-won, implied, told him, not implied, told him that there is a visa issue with one of the members of New Jeans. And so the other guy said, "Yeah, we're looking into it and we will follow the law," is what he said. And then the Democratic Party representative said that, "Oh, we're like, I hope that you can just allow the idols to be able to continue their activities." And so the other guy said, "Okay, yeah," he said yes. And then the representative Park Ji-won said, "Do you understand what I'm saying?" So it was obviously him hinting that he's asking the other guy to make sure that her visa gets renewed. And a lot of people were shocked, especially those that are, foreigners, because we're not used to this. Like, we know that power play happens in politics in the US, but they're usually more discreet about it, right? So not this blatant, and certainly not in public, right? So I'm not to everybody, I'm not trying to like paint the US as if it's like a paradise where everybody's perfect. We're certainly not, but at the very least they try to be discreet about it. I don't know if that's good or bad, but they try to be discreet about it if they're trying to pull strings to make something happen. But here he was not discreet at all. He thought he was, but it was happening in public and there was microphone and it was aired, and he said it like, "Do you understand what I'm saying?" And so the other guy said yes. Now, a lot of people are surprised about this, but you shouldn't be, because Korean politicians for the longest time have exercised their power and pulled strings to either prop up celebrities for their benefit or pull them down for their benefit. They have absolutely no problem putting using celebrities to campaign for themselves, to make themselves popular, or to punish them if they do something that will destroy their reputation. Park Gunye, who apparently she came from the same line. You guys corrected my pronunciation. Lineage. Did I pronounce that right? So they all came from the very first nobility of South Korea, same as Jimin. So she was impeached December 9, 2016. And her father, I think, was also a president. She was impeached for a lot of things, but I would say the final push happened when the Sewol ferry sank, and how she handled it was an absolute disaster. And so obviously a lot of this are their coast guard trying to save some people in the ferry. um and so the ferry actually came from Incheon and it was going to Jeju Island. So it was just an absolute disaster how she handled everything. But I think worst of all, everyone's point is that it shouldn't have happened at all. Not at all. Why did it come to a point where it has to happen? So a lot of people were not happy about it. And this is, so that's still part that this is the ship sinking. And um what happened was a lot of artists started criticizing the government. And this is where a huge difference, there is a huge difference between like the US or other countries and South Korea. In the US, if something like this happened, we you can expect a lot of people going online, journalists, artists, nobody's, everybody just criticizing the government. And um, some people are going to defend the government, some people will fight the government or whatever, but that's just how it is because freedom of speech is very much honored. In South Korea, everyone who spoke against the government and criticized the government were blacklisted, harassed, and in many cases, their living was actually taken away from them. So apparently, she had a blacklist, an actual list, a 60-page document containing 9,473 names of artists critical of the government. And all of these artists were being blacklisted. So they were being harassed, they were being tortured, um, mentally tortured, and their living and opportunities were being taken away from them. So they were, so how were they tortured and how were they targeted? There was state surveillance on what they were doing. If you rely on government funding, as you know, the government is very active in funding TV shows and movies and other artistic projects. If you are being targeted, if you're in that blacklist, then they will not give you funding, even if your project actually promotes Korean culture and the country, which is what they want. Their fund is actually specifically designed for, specifically put aside for projects that would promote Korean culture and Korea as a country. Before Park Geun-hye, the previous president, the one before him, Lee Myung-bak already had an artist blacklist, an initial one. And there were only 82 names, left-leaning names. So he's a conservative. So this is a left-leaning name, a list of left-leaning names, 82 of them. So Park Geun-hye, what he did was actually lengthen the list, especially when people started criticizing how she handled the Sewol ferry tragedy. The Minister of Culture at that time, Chu Yun-son, was actually jailed in 2018 for her role in expanding the list. Now, in her defense, she said that she was pressured by the government to expand the list. If she doesn't do it, then she will get targeted. The government also suppressed media coverage and attempted to block screening of a documentary, The Truth Shall Not Sink with Sewol, at the Busan Film Festival. So last minute, they were trying to edit it, they were trying to block it, they were trying to ask the film festival body to not show it. And then when it was still shown, they pulled out all support from to that movie because they were trying to tour it into different festivals. Now, there were other artists who were targeted, small and big. One of them is an artist from Gwangju, where J-Hope came from. And the mayor of Gwangju at that time actually stated on record that he was pressured by the government to take out that painting and to defund this guy, the artist. So again, they are very big on soft power, right? So a lot of money, a lot of their money for arts, they actually port to into supporting artists so that they can continue growing their art. So this guy, a painter, a very good one at that, painted a he portrayed Park Geun-hye, that president, as in a satirical way. When Park Geun-hye heard about it, that artist was targeted. He instructed the mayor and pressured the mayor to punish the artist by not giving him funding. Also, that is the mayor, Mayor Yoon Jong Yoon. He said that he was pressured to actually punish the artist from Gwangju. Some artists, actors that were, or those that were involved in the entertainment industry, mainstream, that was blacklisted and tortured and harassed was, I'm sure you could recognize this guy, right? Because he's been to so many movies. So he played an attorney in the drama The Attorney, which depicted a legal case involving Moon Jae-in, the future president. And he was blacklisted, tortured, harassed. And for so many years, the government was pressuring uh, production companies to not get him as an actor. Okay. I'm sure that this guy is very familiar to you. He's the director of Parasite, Oscar winning movie, Bong Joon-ho. And he was also blacklisted also for criticizing the government. Okay. Another guy that I'm sure you know of, or at least what he did, Old Boy. To this day, this is one of the movies that is constantly mentioned whenever somebody talks of the best films or from South Korea or the best Asian films from South Korea. He was also harassed. He was also blacklisted and defunded. So for the longest time, he couldn't do any kind of movies. Again, when we say harassment and threats, they were actually approaching studios, approaching TV networks to make sure that they don't give this guy a project. Okay. So for BTS to not even deny that the song is about Sewell, the Sewell victims, one Spring Day, as you know, for them to not deny it, because when it came out, people were talking about them, they were saying that the song is about, and it actually came from K fans, K armies. They were saying that the song is actually about civil tragedy, and of course, international fans were like, "Oh, okay, good. I mean, it's good. It's a good song." But apparently, that's a big deal because the moment their name got involved in criticizing the government, they were in danger of getting blacklisted and getting in danger of being harassed or whatever. So for them to not even deny, because they didn't say anything about it, they didn't say no, they didn't say yes. So for them to actually not say anything and just let it flow, just let it float, the idea float, I think that means that only talks of how intelligent they are, how dignified they are, and how courageous they are. Not denying already puts them in danger of getting blacklisted and threatened and harassed. But also, I'm saying that it also shows of, also demonstrates of their dignity, demonstrates their dignity, because it is some sort of a statement of them, from them, saying that we're going to say what we want to say, right? Without putting ourselves in danger, we will communicate what it is that we want to communicate. A lot of people are saying that it's not about the Sewell tragedy, probably, but the mere fact that their name was attached, that their song and their name was attached to the tragedy, and they didn't deny it, I think it was intelligent. Okay, now another proof of how blatant politicians are when it comes to pulling strings in the entertainment industry and in crime in general is the Burning Sand scandal. So this guy, as you know, former member of Big Bang, he was convicted and proven guilty of video recording women doing private activities that they did not consent to. And there were a lot of women who came forward, and he was guilty of all of it. And what did he get? 18 months, right? I think, I mean, I wouldn't consider myself a modern day feminist, but that's 25 to life in my books. I mean, you don't you don't violate somebody like that, and that many. For me, that's 25 to life. And again, I wouldn't even consider myself a modern day feminist, but that is 25 to life in my books. But he got 18 months, and he's now he's home free. He's doing whatever it is that he wants to do. um and a lot of people are saying that this is because there are too many people that are powerful and rich that are actually really behind this, that he was a sacrificial lamb. He was He was put in the front, but he wasn't the brain and the source of all of this. Because come and think of it, drugs, marijuana is actually banned in South Korea. How did he get all of these drugs? So there certainly is somebody behind all of this. Now, the Burning Sun, the bar, was actually linked to major corporate executives and political donors, and this is well documented. When it was during the hearing, people just learned that okay, it was there's a lot of politicians and a lot of big businessmen, rich businessmen, and popular businessmen who were actually supporting the Burning Sun, the bar. And it was also proven that the police actually accepted bribe to cover up an incident involving underage drinking at the club. And this is just what they learned. There were so many more that they did not disclose and many more that they didn't uncover. Also, a senior official from the Seoul Metropolitan Police Agency, referred to as Yoon Gyu-gun, was arrested in charges of accepting bribes and abuse of power. The one thing about this is that their faces were never shown. No details about the hearing came out. People just said like, "Oh, they were fined or they were jailed," and that was about it. But who's paying you is the question. If you're accepting bribe to cover this up, who's paying you? No one said anything about that. Evidence showed that police officers were bribed to ignore criminal activities in Burning Sun. So I don't know if you know what happened, how it all started. There was this guy who they beat up, and the guy started talking. It was just like, I'm going to sing, make sure that everyone hears this. But he was trying to fight. So he was defending a woman who he saw coming out of the bar who was drugged. Uh, and he said, he was like, why are you dragging this woman? He's like, she's unconscious. Why are you dragging her out of the bar? They beat him up, and then the next day he gave out an interview, and that was the start of it. So um, they are a lot of people are claiming that that is not the first time this happened. Many other incidents like this actually have happened. Now, the problem is that many South Korean chaebols or owners of big businesses and entertainment agencies have long-standing ties to political elite and influencing policies that benefit their industries. In fact, the chairman of Samsung was actually convicted of bribery. He, Jae-yong, was convicted of bribing President Park Geun-hye, the same president that screwed up the Sewol ferry accident incident. And he was aiming to secure the support of the government for his company for them to continue dominating. And they've always had a strong ties with the entertainment industry and politicians. And so a lot of people um, in Korea already, they know that these things are happening, that there is rampant corruption, that they like using their power to abuse people, that they abuse their power, and that they abuse people, they harass people to get their way. And the culture itself is very conducive for it because seniority plays a huge part in their culture. If you have a higher status in society, again, something that is very foreign to many of us, because for us, everyone is equal, right? You may be a billionaire, but we're still equal. I can still tell you, I can still say whatever it is I want to say about you. But to them, no, they bow down to the rich and to people with positions and all of those stuff. Okay, so they are the government and the politicians. The politicians are so corrupt that they basically have had no president who stayed in power to finish his term or her term. Overthrown, assassinated, removed by a military coup, sentenced to death, sentenced to 22 years in prison after his presidency, imprisoned, impeached, arrested for corruption, impeached. Well, Moon Jae-in actually sort of survived, and then Yoon Suk-yeol, the current one, was impeached. So this, imagine like 99% of their presidents end up getting impeached or they end up getting jailed after their term. That's how bad corruption is. And so, what I am trying to drive at is that we should level off our expectation and understand that that country and their culture is very, very different. And what happened during the hearing, during the plenary hall session, that is something common to them. It is unbelievable for us. Again, I'm not saying that this country is perfect. We're certainly not. We have our own problems to deal with. But at the very least, politicians and officials are trying to be discreet about it. They're just blatant about it. That being said, again, it isn't impossible that whoever is doing all of these things already has strings attached to some politicians. So let's not be surprised if the case goes towards the direction we do not expect. Okay, because I know, because we're all thinking like Americans, most of us, or Westerners, or at least we're all from a country where it kind of make, like the judicial process kind of makes sense. It isn't here. We That's why I went through all of that, to show you just how distorted things can be. So um i'm not I'm not saying that the entire country is screwed up, certainly not. I'm just saying that there are politicians who are very, very capable of doing it, and there are people who are very capable of doing that as well. So let's not be surprised if the decision of the case goes to the direction we do not expect. That being said as well, let us not be surprised why some celebrities refuse to talk. If they can do that to an established director, an established writer, painter, actor, they can do that to an idol. Okay. So um that was and also, I think it's also my appeal, I guess, to everybody, that we become more choosy in what we engaged in when it comes to BTS. I think it's more important that we concentrate on BTS, and just on BTS and their achievements more than anything else. Um, the one superpower BTS has is their international success. That's basically it. Remember, they tried to drag BTS into this. They tried to dangle the military exemption in their faces to try and get them to side with them. And BTS, being BTS, declined because they don't want to be, I don't know. But my guess is that part of it is that they don't want to be beholden. They don't want to be puppets by the government. So, and that is something that politicians don't like, that they don't have a pull on BTS. They don't have power over BTS because BTS doesn't owe them anything. So, but a lot of the power of BTS comes from their international pool, their international career, and their international fame. So let's try to, hi Carmi. So let's try to just always focus on BTS. Let's not give other artists, especially the ones that we don't like, any kind of attention, because it's just giving them fame. It's just giving them mentions, and they think that they are, and it's making them think that they are popular. Um, okay, this will have ramifications. Bexella said this will have ramifications on the industry, so they shouldn't destroy their economy for one group. One the odd thing about them is that the reason many of the chebos actually have power in the country is that it is really their industries. Sorry, it's really their private industries that are keeping the country afloat. They are, you know, that they are known as the miracle of Asia, right? Because of how they recovered and how they went up in such a short period of time. And the reason for that is really the private industries, the manufacturing sector. And everyone knows that. That's why they actually are considered to be very, very influential. So I don't think their industry per se, the industries will actually be affected. But it's more about these politicians using celebrities, using idols, using artists and actors or anybody that is popular to their advantage. And anybody who they can use, they can pressure. Okay. NJ has no nomination. True, giving them mentions. Yeah. So let's try not to give them mentions because they equate mentions to popularity, which is not true. If BTS denied, critics would say that BTS is lying, and if they stated that the song was in honor of their lives and families and suffering, silence is golden. Yeah, that's why I think it was a sign of intelligence. It was also a sign of their dignity and a sign of courage. Um, Patty said, "Isn't Hype BTS also good for SK economy? They don't seem to like Hype because Hype hasn't played their games. Big Hit from the beginning never played their games. A lot of, like for example, like new celebrities they lean on politicians. You know who I'm talking about." Right? So like they'll they'll try to get closer to politicians and use that to their advantage to get what they want. BTS never did that. In fact, they stayed as far away as they could from that. They would serve their country, that's for sure. They are in the military right now, so they're already serving their country. But even before that, they were asked to be an ambassador of Seoul. They were asked to be an ambassador of the World Economic Forum, and they agreed to all of that. They were ambassadors. They attended the UN. So all of those things, if they are called to serve their country, they go and serve. But they never would use it to their advantage. As I've said, one clear example is them not going after an exemption. In fact, from the very beginning, they made it clear that they were going to serve. So nobody has anything on their head because they did everything on their own. They don't owe anybody anything, especially not politicians of South Korea. And that is frustrating for a lot of people because, I mean, imagine one politician being able to attach their name to BTS. That's powerful, but they never allowed it to happen. Other actors, idols, actresses did. So you know who I'm talking about. Um, the court already set a precedent that adore. Pres- you also corrected me here. Precedent that Adore and Hybe are separate entities. So NJ's unilateral termination is void as they put Hybe's breaches of contract and not Adore. Yeah, so yeah, we've talked about this before. Like many of the things that the court decided on, specifically saying that Adore and Hybe are two separate companies, that's already a precedent. So moving forward, not BTS, Hybe or Adore can invoke it, and the court can't deny it because the decision came from them. They can simply say this is you stating that we are two separate companies, so we're using what you said to prove our case. So yes, it's been said. Patty said it's been said that the lawyers rep the Roach have a connection to the government. That's my gut. That's my gut feel. In fact, some news actually came out that um, they are going to announce that they have a new management company, and it is BANA. Watch they backtrack from that fact, from the fact that Adore and Hybe are two separate companies. Clouds and Coffee, but why would they favor SM, who has known ties to China? Because there are certain companies who are willing to play their game, right? And Hybe and BTS are not willing to play their game. They just never have. They have continuously served their country by being ambassadors, by promoting Korea, and they've done it to two presidents. but they have never leaned towards them to get things towards their favor. There were some talks that the one thing these politicians were waiting for is for BTS to actually ask for an exemption, or that there were some politicians who already offered an exemption and BTS declined the exemption just because they just want to serve, which I think is the best. That, by the way, I know they don't want to be there, but at the end of the day, given the circumstances that they have, I think serving was just really the perfect move for them, because now it's over, right? It's almost over. um we them BTS themselves, big hit, and we were able to make the most out of the more than 2.5 years of them being not being there. We were able to make the most out of it, but if they did not serve, it would have been chaos day in and day out. It would be robbed. It would be They would be reminded of the big favor that they got. I'm thinking they know they will end up having to pay, but they're trying to kick and bite in the off chance they manage to win against a Dorian hype. That could also be true. Queen Vashas said if they had taken an exemption, the media would mention it constantly. Yeah, and the people, they would be constantly criticized. Katerina said, my wallet has not survived the last 2 years. Only 4 months and BTS will be back. Only 4 months. So I guess my point in showing this to everybody, and I'm sure that all of you already know this, you just forgot, right? Because of all the things that we have to do in our daily lives and BTS. Um, my point is that this is even more reason for us to not pay them any mind. That's our attention, our social media posts, our likes, our comments. That's our currency. Let's only spend it on BTS and let's not spend it on anybody else. Joyce Levy, President Moon chickened out on the exemption. I'm so proud of them. Dal Baby said, I'm so proud of them now that they are coming back in 4 months. Soul said, at Kim, both from what I've heard and seen. Okay. Now, one thing I don't constantly do, but I should be doing is actually read comments in the YouTube, because a lot of you leave so many golden things in the comment section. And in the last video that I posted, you guys absolutely creamed me. You creamed me, and I want to highlight some comments. Um, and also, maybe this is my way of apologizing, because I constantly tell you guys that you are welcome to say anything that you want to say. That this is a space that everyone can express their opinion and you will be heard. Um, but someone actually, several people actually called my attention and said that there is one thing that I constantly brush aside. Like if someone starts mentioning it, I brush it aside, and it's the case of New Jeans. So Carl Fairlane, please tell us you're not getting sick again. I'm coughing, but not really that bad. I guess it's just the change of weather. Thank you so much though for I have this it's a lemon tea, honey lemon tea from a Korean store that I buy, that I constantly just drink whenever I cough or I have cold, which really does me good. Um okay, so going back, so you guys mentioned that this is like one thing that I one hot Sean said, I'm glad they served. It's not awesome, but a life experience nonetheless. I think so. I would like to think, One Hot Sean, that given how smart they are, this is just me. I don't know them personally, and I'm not trying to put words into their mouth, but this is just me hoping that given how smart they are, I think I would like to believe that they did what they could have done. They did what they could do given the opportunities that were presented to them. So they did the most out of what they had. And what they had was 18 months in the military. And so I would like to think that they learned as much as they could, that they improved themselves, and that they were able to reflect on things, and they will come out of it a better artist. Again, I'm not saying that that is what they felt or that's what they do. It's just me hoping that that's what happened. Okay, so going back, so a lot of you called me out on this. So one of the things that I constantly say, that you guys are welcome to say whatever it is that you want to say, and I try my best really, to make you all feel welcome to express whatever it is that you want to express, even if it is uncomfortable, for as long as it is respectful, for as long as you're not taking it personally or you're not disrespecting anybody or whatever. And then several people actually said, but when it comes to people presenting a different perspective with new jeans, I brush them off, which I probably think I did. I think I did that. So as you know, I constantly say that to this day, I am convinced that all adults feel the five girls, and I still think that, by the way, primarily because when they started, they were very, very young, and had they been guided properly, then they would have made a different choice, right? Different choices in for their careers. And then when people start talking about, but at some point you have to let them own up to their actions and their decisions because they're already adults, and I will just brush it off. I think I did that, and admittedly, because it's so hard, and maybe because, as you know, I raised a little girl. um she's not little anymore, she's a grown up, but to a certain degree, this what I kind of felt like. When something goes wrong, I still kind of blame myself, because I feel like, I'm part of this group that raised her, and so her values and her personalities and everything that she will be doing, that is a reflection of how we raised her. And so I felt like this girl started when they were very, very young, and so if they were guided properly, then they would be making some decisions, a different kind of decision for themselves. So this comments are still in that video. I decided not to show the name, not because I don't want to give them credit, but just in case, which I think I realized this is the case, just in case there are haters that are watching and are watching just as so they could hate. I don't want to attract those haters to their account. That is the only reason I did not put their name, but the comments are still public. And if they come to me and they say, no, it's okay, you can put our names, then I will do that. Okay. So this comment actually has a good point. And she said, I like your channel, but at what point are you going to stop making excuses for them? It's always, oh, they were groomed. They were just so young. Kids know right from wrong. I don't buy for a second that they don't know what they're doing is wrong. If they honestly believe they were free and clear from the contract, they wouldn't be renaming the group. They know they did something wrong. Stop making excuses for them. So this, I mean, if I apply this to myself, she does have a point. If I apply this to myself and not to everybody else, at what point am I going to say that the decisions that I've made is mine and all mine and has nothing to do with my parents, right? That, I would say, came when I turned 18 and became old enough. So she does have a point that at some point you're going to have to you're going to have to trust that the decisions that they are making are theirs, because they are already old enough for that. Jessica said they are still responsible for their own actions. um, okay, another one. The reason we're not sure if New Jeans has a big fan base in the US is because when they were playing a concert in New York with other groups, the tickets undersold and the concert had to be canceled. Also, all talkies speaking out actually seem to be defending MHJ and not NJs. Numbers can lie due to payola, which is why Atlantic is doing so horribly financially right now. The same with BP. Spotify pretty much sponsored them. That's a case of fake it till you make it, and they still haven't made it to stadium tours. Meanwhile, Stray Kids is doing a huge stadium tour. Congratulations to Stray Kids, I'm so happy for them. Their fan base seems like the real deal. I think the general public like New Jeans' music, but I don't know if that equates to a fan base. So again, she hit it right. She hit the nail in the head, because I constantly say that um numbers don't lie, but the context can be, but it can be it can be misrepresented. So, and one of you mentioned that during the last live stream, one of you mentioned, or several of you mentioned, that many of those that were streaming them or supporting them aren't really like fans, but were fans of other hype groups or fans of BTS and whatever. I sort of just brushed it off and I said, well, that's not what the numbers say. I totally did that. So, which contradicts what I have been saying in the past before, that numbers may not lie, but they may be misrepresented. You can actually miscontextualize the numbers. So, I should have acknowledged it, that there is that possibility. Of course, there is a possibility that those us are all of their fans, but there is also the possibility that it's not. And yes, it is true that when they had a show in New York, it actually undersold. They had to, I think they had to cancel the show or something. Or did they? No, they didn't cancel. But yeah, it's undersold. Where you have a show like the charity show in Europe, where armies just went full force to support J-Hope, and that's one member, right? So just because it is not their solo show shouldn't matter, because other groups actually manage to fill as a big venue, even if they are just guests in the show. The same thing is true when I watched um what is this summer show that I watched in Korea. So they it was full of NCT fans, even though they're just one of the performers. So just because your group is just a guest, it is not an excuse. But if you have a huge fan base, they will come to support. Okay, another comment. So this one again hit the nail in the head. Um, I like your channel for your intelligence and solid research, and I have complimented your niceness in the past, but you can be too nice. It's not a good thing. You believe that old shorts are blameless because they are young and have been steered the wrong way. You believe that they shouldn't suffer any consequences for their actions. This does not teach them valuable lesson. This does not develop them into better human beings. Many diabolical individuals started out as innocent children, steered the wrong way. Your niceness is a disservice. Your hope that nothing bad happens to them is a disservice. I, on the other hand, wish that they suffer the natural consequence, which is an important word. The natural consequences, not punishment, but just the natural consequences of their action. I support their growth as individuals because, honey, no matter how much talent they have, there's no way I'm going to patronize rotten people. So I think it's a valuable comment, because she's not saying like punish them, right? She's just saying they should get the consequence of their action. And so if you violate a contract, then whatever the consequence is, otherwise you're not going to learn. And she does have a point. A lot of bad people end up becoming criminals because they don't get punished, or they don't suffer the consequences of their actions. They get away with it, and so they think that it is okay, and so they keep on doing it and doing it, and before you know it, they're beyond salvation. So those are some of the comments that I think are valuable. And yeah, I mean, I guess I do that. I try to I say, and this is just to say, I'm not saying that they shouldn't um that they shouldn't have to face the consequences of their action. uh but I do have the tendency to brush it aside, because I want to believe I want to believe that things will be okay for them, and that I still believe that more than anybody else, it's the adults that actually fail them, because they started so young, and if they were guided properly, then they wouldn't be doing the things that they are doing. So I should be reading the comment section more often. Right. Okay. Jane said the girls were given A plus, hands on, and really didn't have to prove themselves. Narcissistic and greedy, relations. I don't like short Levi said. Hoan said, do you think Hoan asked, do you think we should stop talking about them and focus on BTS? YouTube channels are giving them too much attention. I think so. Although the reason I started using New Jeans again is because New Jeans is more going to be associated towards Adore than it's going to be associated to them. So because Adore owns New Jeans, right? So whatever happens to the name New Jeans will be associated to Adore. That is why I'm okay calling them New Jeans again. But yeah, like what I said in the opening, that's why I went through all those things that Korean politicians are doing, is to emphasize that things are going to get worse. Things that we think are improbable are probably going to happen. The decision of the court is going to surprise us. And the only way we can really protect, at the end of the day, it's BTS, right? The only way we can protect BTS is by concentrating on BTS and not anybody else. Jessica said J-Hope at Lollapalooza is a good, that's another good example. He was not the only performer, but armies just came in full force, and his performance in Paris as well, right? Something Clouds and Coffee, something that bothered me was how NJs encouraged other groups being bullied. That's pretty clear instance where they should have known it was wrong. Yeah, there was another comment who talked about it, like, just let's just say they were bullied. Let's just say for the sake of discussion they were bullied. It's not an excuse to bully somebody else. Or if you got hate, it's not an excuse to hate somebody else, which is also a good point. Okay. All right. I don't agree. It's obviously their character not being guided properly or not. They've displayed a mean, manipulative side behind a sickly, sweet facade. I acknowledge that. I hear you. The only one of the reasons that contribute to me believing that at the end of the day it's still the adults that fail them is that it's five of them together, right? I mean, there's not one who's doing what is right for the group, or probably they believe this they're doing what's right for the group. But for the five of them to be like this, it's just sad that the adults drag them to this pit. It is very sad. Linux CQ, I mean, if we call them New Jeans, as in that would reflect badly on Adore. No, it's just that they don't want to be called New Jeans. They want to be called NJZ. Um, but New Jeans is the property of Adore. So using New Jeans will favor Adore, not them. What will favor them is using the name that they want to be called. And New Jeans weren't given a foundation. They skyrocketed, moved into expensive condo, and got individual and group endorsements and ambassadorships so early on. That's unheard of. It is unheard of. These ladies that speak on their own on international scale is misleading and dishonest. Can Adore sue the parents, especially since they probably, Henrietta is asking, can Adore sue the parents, especially since they probably co-signed? That's that I will not, I wouldn't put it past Adore to actually sue them. But I think what Adore is waiting for is the decision of the court to uphold the validity of the contract. Once the court upholds the validity of the contract, everything is going to be easy for them. Right? That's the thing that they need to focus on. Validity of the contract, and everything else is going to follow. Just make other group names. Okay, why are people booking them to perform when they are in this legal dispute? The performance is in Hong Kong. So probably the organizer is counting on that fact because Korea and China doesn't have a good relationship. So it's like, sue us. The court in China will favor us. Probably. And I'm thinking like, I mean, if you're the organizer, like if even if you sue me, the court is going to favor me, and then you can just sue them if you want. We have nothing to do with it. So Sop Show March 7th is way too far. It is way too far, especially because it's also the release date of J-Hope's album. Lara said, I was annoyed when the New Jeans member go live and laugh at other idols. It shows bad character and bad manners. Dodger Girl, don't they go to the, yes, they are going to court to, oh, this month? I thought it was March. Ree Celeste said Vogue Korea is featuring this brats. With featuring or featured? Weren't they featured already? Linax said, with all this corruption, will the court rule in adults' favor upholding the validity of the contract? Well, that's part of the reason I went through everything. Because at this stage, I feel like don't discount anything from happening, no matter how unreasonable we think they are. It's possible. Whatever the outcome that we're thinking is possible. Because, our only hope is for the court to actually be sane enough to realize that whatever they do will affect business in South Korea. It's going to affect idols. It's going to affect the investments and all, right? Why are you going to invest in a country that will not protect you if you're an investor? You don't want that. You want to be protected when you invest. You want your money to be protected. Patty said March and April court dates. I believe in personal responsibility. However, never underestimate the power of cultish persuasion. It takes down full growth adults with careers. Correct. Okay, last I think, did I go through everything already? Okay. So a lot of you wanted me to do a Bangtan Universe 101, a Bangtan Universe for the dummies, and actually explain everything. So is everyone here, are you all like okay with the Bangtan Universe? You understand it? Is there anything in the Bangtan Universe that you want to sort of understand more, questions that you want to ask? Katerina is asking, are you doing a meetup for Hobie? Yes. So on day one for LA, April 4, I have a suite. So some people bought tickets. And whoever has access to the suite, you can actually come to our suite and let's have a meetup. But for those who bought tickets in the suite, we'll have like dinner, talk a little, and then have fun with Hobie. But so the answer is yes. And then the on Sunday I do have it's a different kind of suite. It's city view, so it's kind of a little smaller, and it's just two tables because they don't have any more suite available on a Sunday. The cutest photo for dummies. That name came from you guys. If somebody said like, can somebody do a Bangtan Universe for dummies? Sadly, I have to miss this because I have an early appointment. I know nothing about the Bangtan Universe, so I'll finish it later. Good night. Good night, One Hot Sean. Newbie here, please do it. Florence said, support Hybe and BTS with all your hearts. I would be one of the dummies law. By the way, that title, Bangtan Universe for the Dummies, it's there are books, right? For like 101s of things that's called for the dummies, like coding for the dummies, doing websites for the dummies or whatever. So that's where it came from. Crystal said for dummies should be self-explanatory. I don't know any of it. My question is, what are they going to sing? They have not a single song at their name. They are so young in this photo. So this photo came from in sorry, I Need You, and this kicked off their legendary lore, the legendary universe, and this is all the brainchild. They call it the masterpiece of Suga because this entire idea and the songs were primarily produced by Suga. So it is this magnum opus. I'm so proud of Suga. Tomorrow people are going to criticize me for having Suga as my bias. By the way, I have no bias. I like them for all different reasons. Okay, so let's kick it off with this. So this entire lore actually started with I Need You, with the most beautiful moment in life. And they have different ways of communicating the narrative. The song is one of them. Music video is another. They have the book. They have short films. All of this come together will form the entire narrative. So it forms the story of Bangtan Universe. Okay. So, but there are some things to remember. One, each era, okay, so era is defined as one chapter. So, for example, the most beautiful moment in life is one era, Wings is one era, and then Love Yourself is one era. The most beautiful moment in life has three albums, then Wings, two, and then Love Yourself, three. So in each era there's different albums. I'm sorry, multiple albums, and then they have corresponding support materials. So either short film, books, photos, etc. Okay, so always remember that. So each era now, so you have that, right? So you have this, the beginning is the most beautiful moment in life era. Now, each era may be a continuation of the previous era or a new lifetime as a consequence of Jin's time travel. So whenever you watch and listen to a music of a certain era, that in itself, one era, is one story. You can interpret that as a separate story from the previous one. So if you listen and watch the music videos of Wings, you can interpret that by itself and not connect it to the most beautiful moment in life and not connect it to Love Yourself. However, you can also piece them all together and it will still be one big story. That's why many say it is a genius way of unfolding the narrative, because each era is one story, but you can also connect it for a more epic story. Okay. Next, the music videos. Actually, when you're losing that, when you're watching the music videos, they are meant to show the result of their choices. So, and consequences of their actions or effect of their circumstances. So when you're watching it, don't think that the plot point is being communicated in the music video. What they're showing you is the effect of what happened, and those things that happened, they communicated that to other through other means, the short films, the notebook or the books, plot point. So when you watch it, you're like watching their reaction to what happened to them and not necessarily watching what happened to them. Desha is asking why only Jin is doing the time travel and not other members. Okay, I will get to that. Okay, so remember that. Remember all of those things. So let's go through the characters one by one, and this is going to be a series. I can't finish it in one. So we're going to go through the story, but first let's try to understand each character. And for this, just for this live, we're going to talk about Jin, and then for the next live, we're going to talk about the other characters. Okay, Jin is the one that's doing the time travel. Okay, I'm also gonna try to uncover the story to you chronologically as they did in their eras, so that I'm not spoiling anything. All right. So for now, in the opening, he's the one that's actually doing the time travel. So he's trying to connect his friend, trying to connect the mistakes of his friends to save them. That's what we got from the most beautiful moment in life. His friends went through hell and he's trying to save everybody. It is hinted but unsettled how he gained the ability to time travel. Okay. So we just know that he time travels. There are theories on why it is him that's doing the time travel. One theory is he was the perfection of someone else's effort to correct his mistakes, probably his mother. So to make it clear, his mother was originally the one who was doing that time traveling, or she held the secret on how to time travel. And through all her efforts to try and correct her mistakes, he became the result of that. So he's the perfection of her efforts to time travel and correct the mistakes. And so since he is the perfection of that, then it becomes his job now to try and correct somebody else's mistake until he gets the perfect result, the perfect result. Okay. I need BU for senior citizens explanation video. I'm starting to do it. This is like the most basic. Okay. One another theory is that he's actually like his personality. Uh, he is a like a Constantine. So he's buying his way back to salvation by saving other people. That's why Jin is always separated from everyone else. In I Need You and Run, it was hinted that he died and everyone else is alive. That was the hint. And so that is one result of something that he did to try and save his friends. He was trying to save his friends and he died. So in all the succeeding eras, he's trying to go back and go back and go back to try and correct that. Okay. Another theory is that he's actually Raphael, the archangel Raphael, and the one who identifies himself as one of the seven who stand before God. So he's associated with healing and guiding travels, which makes him a protector in a different sense. So that's why he's protecting his friends, and that's why he is one of the seven. And then it is his job to actually protect. So in one of the short films that they released, and this was released in Love Yourself, there was a scene when he was looking at a girl and the girl walked past him and then a diary fell. Now, it seems if you watch the highlight reel of Love Yourself, you will observe that the girl didn't pay attention to him. She didn't even look at him. And the theory is that this is actually his mother, not his lover or a girl or a love interest or whatever. That girl is actually his mother. And this is one of his attempts to try and correct the past. So he went back in time. This is one of those things, one of his travel back to try and correct the past. Um, and his ultimate choice, he is always faced with two choices. He will either save himself or save his mother or save his friends. So that's the ultimate choice that he's going to have to face. Okay, now in Begins Youth, who was able to watch Begins Youth? The series, the drama series dramatizing their lore, their entire lore. Were you able to watch it? Because of his father was a looper too. His mom is the the that's the theory. One of the theories. I have not watched it. No, I haven't seen it. Oh my god, so many of you. I'm gonna spoil it. Is that okay? Not seen it. I'm gonna spoil it. It was good. If you don't want it spoiled, I guess you can. Spoilers are okay. Yes, on the spoiler. I need season 2 of Begins Youth, Doll Baby. Okay, so in Begins Youth, so just in case you haven't seen it and you don't want a spoiler, um, you can. I will be saying some spoilers, so maybe you can just stop watching for a while. Oh, mute me. So he is the new kid on in the group. So the other six have known each other for a while, and he's the new one in the group because he just moved back to Korea. He was abroad, he was studying, and he moved back to Korea. He's the son of a politician, so he's very rich, but his mother is absent. But it was not blatantly explained where his mother is. So there's just this recording, video recording of his mom and him in one, like he was playing and the mother was there. So he kept on playing that. I think he was trying to decipher a clue to try and find out what happened to his mom. But good night, Jessica. But Jessica, I'm going to meet Jessica. She has tickets. So so that is where the theory came from, that the looper, the time loop, the one who time travels, originally is the mom, or at least she has the key to time traveling. In Begins Youth, the season 1 ended with a tragedy. So he wasn't able to save his friends. That's why a lot of people believe it is season 1, because he's going to have to save his friends. So they're going to do season 2 so that he can travel back in time and correct his mistake. In fact, the last scene was him going back into the first scene of episode 1, doing the same thing he was doing in episode 1 with a little correction. So that's it for Jin. But at least we know that, at least now we know that he is a time traveler. So it's him trying to correct the mistakes of his friends. How he got the time travel ability, not it's not clear yet. We're going to discuss that later. It's not clear yet, but at this stage, it's not clear where he got the time travel ability. But the theory is that it came from his mother, who was absent in his life except for a video recording of him with her. And we know that his father is trying to avoid talking to him about his mom. Okay, so that's it for now. Then we will continue the rest in the next episode. If there's anything that you want me to cover and want me to explain, or if there's any specific format that you think will be better so that you can better understand it, let me know. Disha said the actor doesn't look anything like Jin, but his embodiment of Jin's personality in the series was spot on. Yes, the only thing, is there any actor in the series that you didn't like, that you feel didn't embody the personality of any of the kids? Don't forget to like the video, everyone. Yes, please like it. Maybe Doll Baby said maybe he got it from the magic shop. We said, Celeste said, Bangtan Universe is really big. It is big. These kids were incredible actors. They were incredible actors. Um, whose storyline is your favorite? Is this on Weverse? No, um it's on a paid, it's behind the paywall. It's behind the paywall. Or was Cat on in the game? Arms one. Oh, you don't, or that's your favorite. Arms character is your favorite. Can you cover the relationship between Yoon Kook? People are convinced it's romantic, but I don't know. Oh my god. Um no, I don't think it is romantic. Uh Sayin, that's the name of Suga in the series. Sayin's character is very damaged. Probably the most damaged of all. I gotta go. Katarina said, I gotta go. Time to get off work. Have a great night, everyone. Bye. But yeah, no, it's not. I don't, it's very much not romantic. These people just want to have, like, they just want to ship everybody with each other. It isn't. No, it's not. Saint's character is very damaged. In fact, even in the book, the one that I showed you the other time, the notes, that actually is probably the most helpful in, aside from Begins Youth, the most helpful in sort of completing the entire epic. Um, but even in that, it was his character that was hardest to save. It was his character that was hardest to save. So, I never watched the show. I just know the universe from BTS. I like Suga's storyline. He does not look like Suga, but he has the nuances of Suga. How about this? Do you want me to play it and we can watch it together? We can do that. It's a holiday on Monday. I can binge watch. Do you want that? Jimin's character was very well done. Okay, I can do that. For those of you who don't have, let's have a watch party. The only thing is that um I can't do it on YouTube. They're gonna block me. They're gonna block me. So is the webtoon any help? That helps too. The webtoon also helps, yes. So where do I do it? Because if I do it on YouTube, they're gonna block me. Twitch, Twitch, I don't like any of the storylines and I hate that cat. The story is so good. I hate it so much. What about Patreon? Patreon. So if I do it on Patreon, it's going to be unlisted. So you're gonna have to. Are they not going to block me if it is unlisted? We watch it on a second device. Discord or Twitch. Discord or Twitch. I've heard of Twitch, obviously. I've never heard of Discord. Twitch. So 3 for Twitch. Yes, that would be cool. They can still block you on Twitch. Oh, they can still block me on Twitch? I did not know that. So do it on Patreon. What is Twitch? It's a streaming platform. Discord will be best. Twitch will be good. Patreon, Patreon. Is there a list anywhere of what MVs to watch, in what order, and what to read to get the whole storyline? I'll make one, but that's what I'm trying to do. Like do everything chronologically, but I can make one to make it easier. You won't get taken down from Discord. I really love being youth, begins youth. But if you don't plan to use Twitch, it should be fine. Patreon, but you can list it for free with the link. Twitch at times mute you. Oh, maybe on Kick. So Discord is the like the safest. Easy to do watch parties on Discord. Okay. So how about I'm gonna try both Discord and Twitch, and I'm gonna try Patreon as well. And then let's see. Whoever okay, guys, go on to my Patreon because I'm going to do some test. I'm going to announce it on Patreon, and then I just want like one thing that I want to make sure of is that the sound quality is going to be good, and the video quality is going to be good. So I just want to make sure that happens, and I think that would be possible if I actually get some feedback from you guys. So if you can log on to my Patreon, just register. There is the free tier, so I'm going to try several times and see what's going to be best. I would love to see the webtoon. Isn't it like a game? It would still get blocked. The webtoon, no, it's just like it's online. The webtoon is online. What streaming platform is the show on? It's X. One second. it's it's on a here. I'm gonna share it. Do you see it? Drummer Squirrel is asking where my Patreon is. I'm going to paste it here. If you search Asian entertainment and culture, Asian EAC, you're going to find it. So here's the link to my Patreon. Okay, so this is where they actually showed the entire drama, and I did pay for it, and I do not regret it. I've told you guys that they are my only luxury, so I don't mind paying for their content. But yeah, this is where it is. But it is paid. It's behind the paywall. Some streaming service block any type of screen capture automatically. It's on exclusive. Yeah, that's it. Screen capture. So like if I air this, they're just going to block it. Even if it is like, even Discord will do that. What kind of visa did Honey get? I don't know. So even Discord will do that. Okay. I will do several trials and see who's going to block me and not block me. And I'm just going to put a link in my Patreon. And then I'll put a link in my Patreon, and then let's do a trial. I'll watch one episode and see who's going to block me and who's going to not block me. They should just put the whole series on Weverse for Army membership. They should. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. Okay, so that's what I'll do from today, because Monday is a holiday, so I can sort of like the entire Sunday. I'm just gonna watch it with you guys. So I'll do several trials on Discord, Twitch, Patreon, and then from there see which one is not going to block me. So whenever I do a trial, I'm just going to post a link in my Patreon, and just grab it, watch it if you can. Let's just do a trial. Disha said Twitch doesn't block, according to my knowledge. Sadly, not on holiday where I am. Ah, we have so very few holidays in the US, so I'm very happy for this. Okay, so I'll do that. I'm going to watch. So from today until Saturday, I'm going to watch several trials. So I'm going to watch one episode on different platforms, and let's just see which one is going to block me and which one's not going to block me. Whoever will not end up blocking me by Sinri, whoever is going to not block me, that's where I'm going to watch the whole everything, and so that you guys can watch it too. How's that? I think it's on Netflix too. It isn't. It's not on Netflix. Darren, Fearlane, I will send you DM on other questions about Ellie concert 4/6. Okay. Okay, Darren. I have watched the recipes for BTS concerts. How about on Telegram? Huh? You can actually you can actually watch on Telegram? I do have a Telegram. Sounds good. This sounds fun. I only have seen secondhand from YouTube videos. Okay, let's do that. All right. I think my next live is going to be Friday, but it's going to be just for Patreon subscribers. And then my next like big live will be when I do a viewing of this. And then Monday again for everybody else. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for all of your patience. And I'll see you next time. Bye.